if you know me, you know I love a good little like split drag look. So where half someone's face is in drag, the other half is as normal boy like thing. Didn't know what I was saying there. So let's do one of them today. But instead of doing split either this way or this way, let's do something a little bit random. So I'm gonna get a wig cap on. Then we can block a brow because I know I'm gonna do one eye and figure out how I'm gonna section out my face. Okay, so I've decided I'm gonna do this eye normally because it's a bit stronger, and to section out my face, I'm gonna use masking tape. If you do this, do tape that's actually safe for your face. However, I don't have any, so masking tape it is. I can't tell if the camera's wonky, but I'm gonna leave it because if I mess with it, we all know it's gonna fall off. So I think I'm gonna take small-ish sections, and I kind of want to cut like this cheek. So just pop that there, and then I. I'm gonna join them up in a bit. So I want to include my lips. So maybe put that bit there. So then I only do a bit here, and then I want to do like this something on this side. So I'm going to cut out my eye because I don't need to do it, if that makes sense, because I'm doing the other eye. So that little bit can go there, and then this other bit can maybe go. I really want to do my cheek because I actually kind of love doing my cheeks. So maybe that bit can go like there. Maybe I'll put that at a bit of a higher angle. Yeah, okay. So then that is good. And then I kind of want to do my a jaw, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm going to finish the tape, then I'll be back, because I'm just really like figuring out where I'm gonna put it, you know? Okay, so I can't really speak because of this bit of tape, but this is kind of like the layout, and I'm gonna give it a second so that everything can dry, like my primer, because that's mainly all I've put on. And I've put this bit of tape here because it will show like my jaw, like contour off. And then my forehead, because that would show like the difference between it really. Then I kept this like kind of what I took from one side, I left on the other, if that makes sense. Um, I kind of haven't really decided if I am going to do this whole section. I may because I've got my nose, which I've got off here. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna finish blocking my brow because I've kind of done that in every video already. So yeah, I'm gonna finish and then I'll be back. Okay, so now my brow is completely blocked, and I think I'm gonna do the base on my whole face first. Mainly because then if the tape comes off, it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to apply foundation. While I kind of give you a little bit of backstory on why I'm doing this, if that makes sense. So I think it was either my second or third post on Instagram. An LGBTQ youth charity, had this thing where it was like, a photo project that explores like gender, and I obviously did one. I literally just put foundation on tape. Oh well. And that was like split in the middle. Obviously, that being my second, like either my second or third post, I didn't have the skills that I have now. So I looked a bit off, if that makes sense. So I thought, why don't I go back and kind of redo it and kind of like, because that would be a really good like kind of way of seeing how my skills have progressed. So yeah. Then also, this may be a part of a collection of paintings that I'm doing. Oh, a little teaser. Um, follow me on Instagram for more information on that, because yeah, that's kind of where I'm going to be updating everything. And then Also, it's not going to be yet because I haven't, like, got the resources. But yeah, follow me on my, like, JCO Queen Instagram because that'll be where everything is. So, yeah, and with that, I think, oh my god, I haven't even turned my lights on. I think my base is done. I think the foundation is good. Right, so, okay. Now, I like to contour next, and I like a good contour stick. This is the Collection Contour Stick, the third shade, mainly because I like how, like, buttery it is. So it's, like, really nice to blend, and it generally kind of looks good when you blend it too. And like, you really be able to see it in the finished look, but I'm contouring here because I'm not contouring here, if that makes sense. And can we just appreciate that blend? Chef's kiss. And I can kind of feel the tape, like, coming off anyway. That's why I'm doing my whole face first, because obviously, as I sit here, I'm gonna get warmer, which would make it less sticky, which basically means it will come off my face anyway. So yeah, that's why I'm doing it first. I don't know if you can hear what's in the background, but I think someone's running a bath. So yeah, and then just gonna do my forehead. I'm not gonna do the two different products, mainly because I don't really have, like, time with it drying. And then also, you can kind of see, but the tape is, like, coming off my forehead. So I really don't have, like, any time to do it. And then now we are going to highlight. I'm just gonna put a bit of what's on the extra, like, on my nose, because that just helps a little. There we go. And now I'm going to use my MUA concealers that I've used for quite a while, actually. And I mainly like these to highlight because it's the same as the foundation, so they blend quite well. So this is shade 104. It's backwards, but you can kind of see it. And then I'm just kind of gonna create a halo on my forehead with this. And then also kind of cheek area. Also do the jaw. Okay. And then I am actually gonna have to do this side. This is the only, like, base thing I'm gonna do on this side, because there isn't really any space. And then going to use shade 100, kind of in the direct middle of here. And then also up here, as this will just make it super light. I am going to try and keep the tape on as long as I can, because that would just really help me the most. But if it comes off, it comes off, to be honest, you know what I mean? So yeah, just going to blend kind of this whole section. I have no idea how this is going to look, by the way, because it's kind of the first time I've done it. Well, not like a split, like, mug, but in this way. So we're gonna hope it's looking good. And then, as you can see, you can kind of get the drag base. But obviously, it's a bit wonky because of the tape. Okay. That doesn't look horrible. I'm not even gonna, like, lie. Like, it's kind of looking good. And then I'm going to basically set all of this with mostly powder and a little bit of setting spray. Then I'll be back because I think I can take the tape off now. Because quite frankly, I've done, like, the messiest part, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not really gonna need it. So I'm just currently using some powder. and kind of making that all there. And then I'm just gonna cut my jaw, make that sharp. Then also gonna do this side that there's barely any to do. And then we're gonna pop some on my forehead. And then to kind of help the setting powder like melt into my face, before I brush the excess away, I'm gonna use some setting spray. Then I'll basically brush it away, take the tape off, then be back. Or, I'll see about the tape, but I'm gonna use setting spray first. So I'm gonna give this a minute, then I'll be back. Okay, so now it's time for my brows, and quite frankly, I'm happy I'm only doing one, because that means it doesn't really matter how it looks, because I haven't got to match it to anything. So yeah, I've just popped my stencil on, then popped a bit of setting powder on, mainly because that helps dry anything that's like under it. And now I'm going to take my brow pomade, because I love it. It looks quite good. And then I'm going to use a very small amount of setting spray. Literally a pump. Just so it's a bit moist. Getting mixed up with all the lids. And then I'm going to use the brush that it comes with to like pick it up. And then I'm going to kind of fill in. As you can see, it's starting to transfer. So I'm going to like fill in the brow. And it's slowly going to get darker. And darker. Okay, so not gonna lie, I probably cut that out because I was literally getting it on my brush, then need to check what side it's on. Gonna re-pop it on, and then doing like this, so that it went like darker, and as you can see, that is now fairly dark, and I think it's done. So, what I like to do is firstly check that my whole brow is like covered, and then, there we go. I just like to firstly pop this away so I don't lose it for the next time I get in drag. Then get some setting powder. And then pop this on the brow. Mainly because I can take this off. And with that, like, time, it would have set. So I can then use concealer to neaten it up below. So to be honest, I can slowly remove the tape because I don't really need this bit anymore because I'm not going any higher than that. So I'll do that in a bit. But as you can see, I've now got an eyebrow. So I'm going to go and think about the eye look and remove this little bit of tape. So I'll be back. Okay, as we can see, the difference, that is really what I wanted. Do you know what I mean? I wanted there to be a massive difference. So, going back to my eye that I'm actually putting in drag, I'm now going to use concealer to, like, neaten it all up. Mainly the underneath, because that's, like, what needs to be neat. So, I'm going to use a mix of shade 100, and then shade 104 closer, or, like, on the edges, if that makes sense. Then I'm just going to take this up and make everything look nice. And then going to use a small-ish beauty blender to kind of help blend this all down into the actual look. Because it's all right having it up here, but I like want it to like actually work with the eye. So there we go. And now I am going to start kind of mapping out, or I can actually kind of do the nose contour. Because like there isn't like much really. So – just gonna kind of map this out here. Actually, I can't do nose contour because I use a different brush. Um, uh, mm, I'm gonna do it. So, gonna kind of do this down here. And as I've got to go lower than the camera to really do it and see. Yeah, you can kind of start to see the snatched, like, nose being created. So, there you go. That is now snatched. Lock it. That's my new favourite thing to do. Lock it, Diva. So yeah. And then I'm gonna just grab my highlighter palette and use the white or lighter shade that I have. Then kind of pop that on the, like, centre to really make it pop. Right, now we can actually get into the eye. So I'm kind of gonna do the normal routine, which is like black or the wing first. The wing to take up and meet it. There we go. And then going to take this and kind of go out until I meet the point. There we go. That generally doesn't look bad. Why is that eating? Hey Diva, who is it? It's JC. I'm not doing that ever again. Anyway, I feel like doing like a purple to pink eye. So got purple on the brush, and I'm kind of just gonna put this like on the inner part of my eye and then kind of blend it into the crease. And then gonna brush the excess off just so that it can blend fairly nicely. And then I'm going to take a light, I'm going to take red to kind of be the transition shade. And we're kind of going to pop this like on top to like blend the whole eye together. Okay, I'm going to go back in with the purple just to make it a bit bolder on camera. Why isn't that picking up? Okay, it's kind of picking up. And then lastly, I'm going to take a pink and just pop that at the very top of the eye. Leaving a little bit of room because I still want that highlight to show. That looks red. It's fine. Can't like moan, can't really do anything about it. So we're just gonna live with it. Now, I'm going to take my £1 eyeliner because I'm not really like going out, so it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna take the £1 eyeliner and pop that line up there. I have to be quiet so that I like can really focus. There we go. And now I'm gonna look down and just like fill in the rest of my eye. So as you can see, I've now got a really nice thick eyeliner. And then to kind of finish the eye, I'm gonna take my white concealer again, pop it in the middle, or in the crease, and then use a relatively small beauty blender to kind of blend and pop the crease. I'm actually going to use my finger because I find it works a bit better. So, I'm going to go back here. Then gonna go with my finger and just like blend and kind of spread the white. There we go. That is the eye relatively done because I'm gonna do the lash later. So to be honest, I think I'm like done with the base. I don't really need to do any powder. If I turn the light off, you can't really see it up here. I may put some powder. But yeah, I think all that is left is my lips. So I'm gonna do them, then I'll be back. Okay, what I actually meant to say was that I'll do my lips on Canva. Because to be honest, they're not really different. But anyway, I want like a nice shade. Okay. So I feel like doing a nude lip today, or whenever you watch this video. And I've got a new MUA lip liner. So I'm gonna open it whenever I can, because opening a new product is fairly hard. Oh my god. I need the lid. Like, look. I actually need the lid. Can you open, please? Like, why is the plastic being so annoying? I get that it's there to stop people using it and stealing, but I don't have anything else to open it with. Okay, here we go. I finally got there. Right, the lid is fully. So, I'm gonna take the liner and just kind of go here. And down. Oh, this is a nice dark lip liner. And then down. And then kind of outline the bottom lip. And then I kind of want it to be lighter. Like my actual lip. So I'm gonna have a little rummage. Okay, I think I'm gonna use this shade because it is fairly like light. So how is that looking? That literally looks like I've just used concealer on my lips. I'm not for that. What about this one? That isn't really nude. Okay. I've lost a lipstick. Okay, I don't want to use a dark one. You may be able to hear, but I'm literally going through every lipstick I have. What about, is there one in the palette? Yes, okay. I kind of need like a little brush. Let's see if I have one. Okay, I'm gonna use this because I really don't use it for anything else. So I'm gonna go in with this kind of lip balmy texture lipstick. And just... Okay, that looks much better. I need to pick up as much as I can. Okay. I've probably cut most of that because I was literally doing it in silence. But now, this is what they look like, and I'm just going to neaten them up. Gonna use a shade lighter than what I use for my foundation. And gonna, like, neaten them up. And then instead of using like a sponge, I'm gonna use like the whole of my finger and just go like that. Mainly because I find that this works a lot better than a sponge. There we go. So now I think it's time for powder. So I'm kind of going to clean what I've got out, then I'll be back to do powder. Okay, I've took this bit of tape off mainly because I needed to like release my face, if that makes sense. So I'm now going to do all of the powders. I have put some setting spray on, no, powder, not spray, mainly because I like want to prevent what I can from like falling and messing up what I don't really want to touch, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to make the darks like darker, which I've done, we love. And then just gonna kind of make the lights a little bit lighter with some powder, foundation, and make everything look a little bit more like smooth and seamless, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. And yeah, then once that is done, I think I'm going to pop a lash on, and then like add my beauty mark. Then I think it's time for me to throw on a wig, and then we'll be done. So just gonna kind of go over like where I need to, because I obviously don't need to go over everywhere because I haven't put makeup everywhere like I normally would. So I think this video is not actually going to be much shorter than my other like tutorials. So we love blush. I really don't need any blush, but it's good to throw on. And obviously, it's got to be the pink shade. Yeah, like, there's literally no space for where I put it, but we're still gonna pop it on. Just because. I actually love how light that bit of my, like, face is. You can't really see it here, like this line, but it's fine. Because I think once I've done the eye stuff, like when I neaten it up and do the eyelash, I'm gonna maybe go over with some eyeliner, like these sections, and then I'll be back to show you the final look. Okay, not gonna lie, I'm kind of living for it. Like, even without the, like, eyeliner, you can kind of see it. So, we're clocking. I definitely think this is better than just doing a regular half and half, like, split. More interesting, you know? And I think the eyeliner helps give it more of an art kind of vibe, which would be translated when I paint it. So yeah, this is the final look. I'm not like I haven't glued down the wig like, hey. No one come for me for not doing that because quite frankly I can't be bothered. Um but anyway, yeah, I don't hate it. Like, I kinda love that it shows like it just gives, especially the eyes. Because I haven't done one but I have the other. So yeah, we're clocking it. My new favourite thing to do. So yeah, put what your thoughts are in the comments, and yeah, hope to see you in the next video. If you do something similar, make sure you tag me in it on Instagram because I'd love to see. Because I think there's a really cool idea of like gender expression, I guess. So having like the feminine drag with the like masculine boy, if that makes sense. I actually live for how I blocked my brow. It's literally invisible. Um, so yeah, hope to see you in my next video. Make sure you subscribe because there's gonna be more like always. And yeah, bye.